Hi, today we are reading from Front Desk by Kelly Yang, Chapter 47. Chapter 47 begins on page 198. With Hank making money again, we no longer had to hide him. Mr. Yao was baffled when he found out what happened. How did that deadbeat sneak back in here, he wanted to know. Still, money was money, and Mr. Yao was happy to take Hank's now that he had it. Hank was happy too, for it meant he could roam around the motel freely again. When I got home from school, I found him sitting on the roof with Lupe's dad. "What you doing up there?" I called. I was just helping Jose here with his tools," Hank said. I looked at Jose, who seemed very happy to have some company up there on the roof. "Want to hang out at the desk?" Hank asked. "No, it's okay," I said. "Stay. I'll get you guys some sodas." As Hank and Jose sipped sodas on the roof, I went back to the front desk. There were 4 messages awaiting for me. Aunt Ling, Uncle Zhu, Aunt Ping, and Uncle Yang had called to say they went by the addresses I gave them, but none of them had seen the missing Thunderbird. That meant we were down to the final address, the home of Mrs. Robinson. Oh God, I hope they don't find the car there. Sometimes when I wanted something really bad, I'd ask myself what I would be willing to give up for it. For example, when I was waiting in the hospital that day my mom got beat up, I asked myself, what would I be willing to give up for my mom to be okay? I decided I would be willing to give up the essay contest. I'd rather be stuck on a bad roller coaster with my mom than on a good roller coaster all by myself. Today, as I thought about Mrs. Robinson, what I would give up for it not to be her, I looked down at my new jeans. I decided I would be willing to give them up just to prove Mr. Yao wrong. I looked up from my jeans to see a Chinese man running into the motel. He came by foot. He didn't have a car, which was odd for California. As soon as my mom saw him, she dropped her mop. "Zhao Zhang!" she cried. "Zhao Zhang," he exclaimed, the warmth of their affection coming through in their greeting. Zhao meant little in Chinese and was something you called dear friends. They hugged each other and jumped with joy. At dinner I learned that Uncle Zhang and my mom used to work together in China. They were both engineers. Uncle Zhang was one of the best engineers we had. "He can fix a television in 30 seconds, my mom said, picking up slices of ham with her chopsticks and adding them to his plate. "Well, more like a minute," Uncle Zhang said. He and my mom laughed. "So when did you get here?" my dad asked. "About a year ago," Uncle Zhang said. My mother asked him what he had been doing. That's when Uncle Zhang dropped his chopsticks. I don't know how to say this, but He shook his head. "What?" my mom asked. "What is it?" Uncle Zhang's eyes watered. "Oh, Ying, I'm in an awful mess," he said quietly. Slowly he began to tell us what happened. Shortly after he came to America, he got a job working in a kitchen. The employer was an American guy and told all the workers that their passports and IDs would be safer with him. So he took them all away. Without their passports and IDs, the workers had no way to leave. Month after excruciating month, they put up with long hours, toiling away in a hot kitchen with virtually no pay. "We work 18 hours a day from 6 a.m. to midnight. We only get 1 day off a month," Uncle Zhang said. At night, Uncle Zhang and the other workers slept at the employer's house in a basement with no windows. "I'm basically a slave," he cried. "I only got out today because immigration came and raided us, so everyone had to flee through the secret tunnels." "What secret tunnels?" I asked. He told us that inside the restaurant there was a closet in the kitchen with a white apron. Behind the white apron there was a button. If you pushed the button, the closet wall would open up and you could crawl out. The secret tunnel led to hiding places and directly outside. "We never thought it would happen, but today immigration showed up," Uncle Zhang said. As soon as the immigration officers walked through the door, one of the waitresses came into the kitchen and put in an order for ice fried rice. That was the code word. One by one, Uncle Zhang and the other workers slipped inside the closet and crawled out through the tunnels. "When I got out, I kept looking up at the sky so vast and blue," Uncle Zhang said. "It'd been ages since I'd seen the light of day." "And how did you manage to find us?" my mom asked. "Oh, that part was easy. Every Chinese waiter up and down the coast of California knows about this place. Look out for the blue cap, they say. You guys are famous," Uncle Zhang said with a wink. Then Uncle Zhang's face fell, and he got real quiet. But I have to go back. They still have my passport and my ID. My mom shook her head. There's got to be something you could do. Uncle Zhang shook his head right back. It's my own fault, he said. I should have never have taken the job in the first place. Why did you? Because I was desperate. Uncle Zhang swallowed hard. I got into some trouble with loan sharks. And that's the end of that story, or chapter 47.